All right, Vinny with the Meteor M. Going to be something that needs to be worried about here. If MCL had no passive, no second life, and Terra's more than keen to take it. Zenstarry stands upon the periphery and now can act a lot more freely inside the invisible boundary. And we see that Harvey's already invested those uses of the regeneration domain. And now it's Harvey's turn to use the fate of both worlds, and the Eternal Bomb comes through as well. Kimbob's fallen, and now Duep's next to go. 100 Thieves, when the chips are down, are going to be able to clutch on up MCL. Coming back on the last chance, Black Panther, but can't touch the point.
Yeah, Ground Zero, they had to send that Wolverine in just to make sure that overtime hit, and then when the Invis boundary comes on through, Harvey gets the perfect copy onto the Cloak and Dagger, so he can...
Frost of a Metallic Curtain blocks out the return of the Meteor M from the other side. If MCL can't deliver enough damage, but now up close and personal to these strategists, there's going to be some stuns coming through. Yes, onto Harvey, and onto the Lunar Snow as well. Zenstarry, I've got stars in my eyes as they claim themselves potentially this first fight here. TTK falling first, means a portal comes on back, escapes out of the LOS of most of Ground Zero, and there's actually a little bit of a body block coming through to make sure there's no re-engage permitted after a kowtow and move back to the spawn.
It's not just stars in the eyes, it's the Eye of Agamotto that Zenstarry is able to utilize. Catches onto two key players on 100 Thieves, and they confirm the picks onto them as well.
Boost onto a trembling before blast, but elsewhere Zenstarry's already fallen. Terra trades it up by the Phoenix making landfall here towards the back. The Vibranium marks need to be avoided outside of the invisible boundary. It's so easy to take him down. TTK, the top tier kid, has made sure that his magic burns the brightest as 100 Thieves and their criminal empire expands across to the Empire of Wakanda. Ground Zero find themselves defeated in the last moment as 100 Thieves claim victory.
Yeah, invisible boundary, the heal per second is just not enough. 165 per second, but in the face of Eye of Agamotto, Feast of the Abyss, Maelstrom of Madness follow-up, and also all of the other members of 100 Thieves, target focusing, hyper aware of one specific player before moving on to the next.
Great focus fire, even through the fate of both worlds, for damage proving too much from 100 Thieves. And it seems like this is going to be a very swift take of first, unless Ground Zero really can pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Ground Zero, they do have that Groot Strangling Prison to combine with Name's ultimate, but I don't think they're even going to have the opportunity of tapping. Instead, no, it's just going to have to be better shoring up your resources and position on second. We can already see the Groot walls. Terra and Vinny, in the meantime, perfectly on the beat with each other to have that wombo when Ground Zero come to recontest.
TTK doing so much damage already. That's going to be an Eternal Bond coming on through. Can you avoid the incoming damage of the... Oh, nice Metallic Bulwark just in time coming through from the side of Vinny. Excellent defensive prowess as Matty going to be channeling the fate of both worlds. A quick float away. Meteor M reigns above it all. Where's Vinny going to drop it on down? Not on top of anything right now. Nami's full on down. Delana straight down the backside. Down the Psylocke, and there's no shield in the world that can stand up to the power of a Phoenix Force. Delena's there with a sonic slash at the end as the butterfly reigns over the god of metal. King Bob unable to get away from this one, I'm sure, blown up by the sparks of Terror and TTK sonic powers. Make sure to put an end to this. And guess what? The Flora Colossus has been moving the entire time. Arakko feels the freeing call of nature all around as Duep's Captain America is slain by Terror, vanquished for a moment. And so too is the Ground Zero defense. 100 Thieves complete.
Ground Zero were able to pick Harvey, but they didn't manage to nab Malay.
The sky goes the Meteor M, mostly uncharged for now, so instead just going to give over a little bit of chunk damage towards those Vanguards. But now with all of the healing finished, TTK's turn to strike. Up comes the Ironwood Wall to try and dodge some of the incoming damage. It's going to be a strangling prison towards the back, landing down on top of it. Not too much damage. FMCL coming up rather close with the damage reduction. And now you've got to start stopping the Flora Colossus. It's only a sharp, it's only slightly away from the goal itself. A meter stands between Ground Zero and extension of life here on Arakko, and indeed they will
burn the Meteor M on scenery and brick inlay. And Ground Zero have one more chance of being able to get pushed into Arakko. King Bob does have that invisible boundary, but 100 Thieves aren't going to allow them freely into the space to be able to use it. TTK with the Sonic Seduction 2 can just wait for it to come through and then have their ultimate instantly connect onto all within.
King Bob with the invisible boundary. Gonna have to bring this one up to try and avoid the incoming damage of TTK. May decide to go for FMCL instead, but Metallic Bulwark gets a lot of that. Oh, Zenstarry already got Melania. Harvey's down as well. Terra's joining them. And that's going to be Zenstarry. Once again, stars in his eyes. He looks for an ace. All the heroes may well be eliminated, vanquished at the hands of And King Bob's the one to fall in the midst of all of this, but still the healing's going to be there. Matty dancing for the life of OCE. A three-person stun comes through from Terra. A chase down now onto the back line. A good metallic bulwark coming on through. It's always Vinny who delivers, but Nami's going to be just the same. TTK wraps around the edge, but can the top tier kid get one over on the Thunder from down under? Moving towards the back, yes, Zenstari, you better believe he's got yet another usage of this ultimate. The Phoenix is going to come and deliver, and the Phoenix Force is rising. Zenstari's Thornlash Walls lash their way through 100 Thieves for their crimes. They have earned themselves 1,000 lashings as Ground Zero take themselves to the goal.
Zenstari, what a hero! Oh my goodness, he needs a consolation. just give him a consolation. I mean, they're going to soon have a strangling person, which is almost building at the same pace as the Cloak and Dagger ultimate, which is just absolutely insane, but goes to show exactly what Zenstari is doing. TTK is trying to shut this down immediately. Out goes the Insanity, and it's just going to be Psionic Seduction to stop Ground Zero's momentum.
FMCL going to be grabbed first. Nami still going to trade out here onto the lane. It takes the off angle here, try and play from the back. Eternal Bond, attempt to kick them away from it. Maybe there could be a little bit of finesse here towards the back. Yeah, you better believe it. It's going to be another strangling prison. Still the survivals there from 100 Thieves. They return from this. It's going to be Maddie AF under the onslaught. I believe that they took down the Phoenix just in time, so the healing is going to be there for a moment longer. You got to look out for this Carbon Crush. A spinning kick into the hole of doom would not be great to see. TTK overwhelming duet taken down. Overtime starts to tick away as the 100 Thieves combine their powers in a team up of the century and hold Ground Zero.
Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes 38 in the bank coming on through for 100 Thieves. It's not impossible for Ground Zero to achieve, but it's definitely going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's this one is going to be. They gotta drop it to TTK potentially already. Maddie AF, that's gonna be a strangling prison. Grabs in multiple players. Up comes the regeneration domain, and that means that follow is gonna be forthcoming here for the side of Ground Zero. Taking to the sky is Terra. All that damage from before now going to be rewarded. FMCL's taken on down. Maddie needs a rescue, but the only salvation that's gonna be coming is gonna be at the hands of the Blade of Delana, cutting down the tree. It's a chainsaw of psionic power. The Phoenix can barely even touch the ground in time, and Nami surrounded by villains. The Flora Colossus reaches the goal, and Ground Zero's choice of Arako is stolen away by 100 Thieves.
Well, it lasted 1 minute 30, but unfortunately just 100 Thieves being able to lay stake to that objective so that it continued to move, which then forced everyone on the side of Ground Zero out of the box that they just put themselves into even before 100. That duel, but instantly the Rage of Ultron is there, and Ground Zero, well, FMCL was the only one with an ultimate, and they're immediately picked.
All right, it's Jeff has been declared. Who dares to show themselves here? Oh, that's going to be, oh, no one grabbed. Maybe a good right click coming through, at least CC immunity from the Luna. Dueb's already grabbed Harvey there, who was stunned after having missed everybody. TTK forced to engage here. FMCL doesn't get too much off the back of their own ultimate. Dueb's going to move on forward, almost grabbed straight away. It was a little bit messier from 100 Thieves than we were expecting, but Ground Zero is still taken off the point by the Emma Frost. A missed Carbon Crush up into the air, but all it does is make a little bit of space here for Terra to try and work with. Dueb's going to be overwhelmed as the remainder of Ground Zero are washed upon by the tide of Thieves. And Zenstari does have themselves an ult, but doesn't really have the HP to try and make this one work. Already uses this, makes a bit of time for Maddie to come on forth with the pentagram of Ferala. It's only going to be the single healer behind them. The strategist going to be rolling on through Zenstari. Oh no, he's ended up so far away. Oh, the tilt of the roof has managed to banjax him in this case, and all it has done is fed them over to 100 Thieves. A full completion of second as we move to third.
Can still find a pick potentially through it. TTK moving on forward to trying to keep up the charge with the Emma, build up the Sonic Seduction too to put even more pressure on where this invisible boundary will be able to find value.
Delana playing the safe position for now. Well, no one wants to move through that portcullis into a Church of Dracula. Nami already taken down by flames on the floor of all things. The invisible boundary will keep King Bob safe for now, but the sake of people start to get mind controlled by TTK. They're going to be in desperate trouble. FMCL plays within this for a moment. Maddie AF burned to a crisp. The permafrost of lunar snow is finally thawed out by the skills of Terra. Zenstari up against 6. The symbiotic resilience not enough to try and deal with it. Delana finds the final hits, and Ultron his rage is too strong to stand up to.
100 Thieves looking so much stronger. Some of the other maps, some of the other rounds, it was looking a little bit more back and forth, but 100 Thieves very much found their footing. The momentum with the Human Torch being able to push their vanguards forward and just claim up the space so that Ground Zero don't get a good angle to keep a check on. Good push. Eye of Agamotto combined with Meteor M could be absolutely massive. We saw them do it on Burnin', but 100 Thieves are going to be expecting it for sure. Portal's going to come out all the way behind, but they turn. They know where the Strange is, and TTK is going to be looking for that Eye of Agamotto hungrily.
Vinny tracks himself through the Portal for a moment. Terra with the hot drop into the back, and that's going to be 2 members sent back to the Barbie. 100 Thieves, they have their winners finals in their sights. All they need to do is take out the last few Oceanians, and when Terra says to burn, all you can do is turn to cinders before his gaze. 100 Thieves steal away the series.
You know what? I'm seeing a little bit of a correlation here, Harry.
Yeah.
When one-sided Human Torch makes it through the pick bans, the team with the torch tends to win.
Ain't that something? I mean, every single team we interviewed before this told us that's the case.
Yeah.
And yet it keeps happening.
I mean, Envy even did a whole interview with it.